Up to 20 cases of kidnappings are reported in South Africa every month, which has forced businesses to bulk up their security. Well, that's according to one forensic investigator. Pierre Gildenhuys, the head of forensics at D&K Management Consultants, says he's noticed an increase in demand for personal bodyguards. At least 5 cases of kidnapping have made headlines in recent years, but Gildenhuys believes many more ransom claims are being made. He joins us now to tell us more. Pierre, thank you so much for joining us. The most recent kidnapping of the 4 Motti brothers has sparked fears that children are now the targets of ransom syndicates. How are business people protecting themselves and their families?
Afternoon, Annika. I think it's a very important matter to discuss, especially when considering that, many people believe that the recent, and I say that in inverted commas, that the recent spike in kidnappings is a new thing and a new method of, syndicates trying to get hold of people's money and trying to blackmail people. I must say that it's not a recent idea and it's not a recent modus operandi to get hold of people and blackmail them that way. It's been going on for quite a long time. And, we see more and more an incline in targets towards rich families, such as the Motti brothers, businessmen as well as the average Joe walking on the street. We've seen a lot of cases in, informal settlements where children are being kidnapped for a small amount of ransom because they know necessarily that those people can't afford millions of rands of ransom. So, there's a lot of cases going on that generally go unnoticed.
Pierre, am I correct in saying, understanding that there are a lot more cases than we actually know about because they don't make the headlines, and it's better to keep quiet while the kidnapping is in place so as not to prejudice any kind of retrieval or investigation?
Well, yes, that is certainly the case. And what is important to highlight is that people are very scared once, these syndicates, know a lot about you and they have information that not really many people know about you. And, once these things happen, it's sometimes difficult for people to have a trust in the justice system and the SAPS to report these cases, because we know that the crime statistics in South Africa is skyrocketing at the moment. And once these things happen, people have a fear because the syndicates and the abductors install so much fear into their targets. Saying that if you go to the police, we will do X, Y, and Z to your loved ones, or, you'll never see them again. So generally, to answer your question, these cases go unnoticed because, one, people are scared to report it to the police, and secondly, people have a mistrust that anything will happen even if they do report it.
In the high-profile cases, are the kidnappers, you talk about syndicates, are they syndicates that are known to business people, or are they complete strangers that the syndicates have targeted?
There are a few syndicates that we know about, especially operating from Brazil and mid-Africa. Especially a group by the name of Black Axe. They operate a lot with email scams, romance scams, and also recently the kidnappings. It's not all of the time someone that is known to the company. It may be disgruntled employees wanting to prove a point. Sometimes it's just known that this person is high profile and well off. In terms of wealth and maybe assets as well. So it's not necessarily that there's always one specific person targeting the owner of a business or the parent of a child. It's a lot of the times, opportunistic crime as well, where I don't necessarily know you, but I am going to take something off you and demand a ransom for you to pay me and for me to return your loved ones or whatever it may be.
In summary, and very quickly, what would one do? What would you suggest one does? God forbid one of your loved ones is kidnapped.
Well, it's important. It's a difficult question, and a lot of the times the circumstances are different with each kidnapping. I think it's important to rather think of what can you do to prevent the kidnapping in the first place, because then it's not as you need to ask yourself how you can prevent getting into that situation. But I think it's important to do the right thing, report it to the police and get their assistance, and also get assistance from private companies where you are guaranteed to have a result and some assistance, at least if you don't necessarily want to go to the police. Rather go to a private company and at least get some help.
All right, terrifying phenomenon, not a new one, but still absolutely horrible to even think about. Thank you so much. That's Pierre Gildenhuys, the head of forensics at D&K Management Consultants.